Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I upload videos about motherhood and lifestyle every single Sunday, and today I'm going to be doing my 3 to 6 month must-haves. Now, in my first video ever, I did my newborn must-haves, which I will link that in the cards above. I told you guys that I kind of wanted to make this into a little bit of a series, so here I am. Peyton is now 7 months old, so she has surpassed her 6 months, and I made sure to write down everything that got us through months 3 to 6. Also, I apologize if the lighting gets a little wonky in this video. It's like 7:30 at night and the sun is going down. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so the first thing on my list of 3 to 6 month must-haves were like little handheld toys. So not huge toys like a drum or something. I don't know why a drum was the first thing that I just thought of. But little handheld toys like these ones. Now this one was, we named him Mr. Crab, and he was Peyton's favorite toy for a while. I have videos of me just sitting there like shaking this rattle in her face for like 10 minutes, and she would just sit there and stare at it, and she loved this thing. She just really liked to like grab onto this, and I really liked the circle toys because they just made it easier for her to grasp onto and shake. Little handheld toys like these kept her occupied for a long time. So I highly recommend getting little, I guess, like rattles. They will definitely keep your child occupied for a good amount of time. The next thing on my list are teething toys. I only have one here to show you, and it's not frozen. So these you could actually freeze or microwave. I particularly froze them, which is the way that Peyton liked them best. Basically, they have like water or something inside of them, and it's little like rubber toys, and you freeze them so that when they put them in their mouths, they can gum them, and it's really helpful for when they're getting teeth. Peyton still does not have any teeth, but on days where her teeth seem to be bothering her, I'll give her these, and they really help her. They also have like the teething rings. I have one of those in my freezer, but I just forgot to take it out for this video. I know, pro YouTuber. Just anything that you can use to kind of like for them to gum and just chew on really saved me some days. And number 3 is this guy right here, and that's a BUMBO seat or a sit-me-up seat. I looked high and low for a sit-me-up at like one of the, I think it's Graco or Fisher Price. I think it's Fisher Price. The sit-me-up chairs where you like put them on the ground and they have a little bar across it, and you can attach a tray to it, I think, and they have like little toys across. I searched high and low for that thing here, and I could not find it anywhere. So I settled for a BUMBO seat. And before I had Peyton, I was kind of like, I would see these things and just kind of be like, A lot of the times that I saw kids sitting in them, they would get their little legs like caught in here, like their chunky thighs wouldn't be able to come out, and I was just, it didn't look very comfortable. And reviews online, some people loved it and some people hated it. I particularly really liked it. She didn't like it at first, but once she got used to it, it really helped her sitting up. When they're about 3 to 6 months is when they kind of start working on sitting up, or at least that's when Peyton started working on sitting up. So it really helped her learn to kind of like the position of sitting up. Kind of took the place of my boppy lounger because she no longer liked laying down. She wanted to sit up, and so I started putting her in the BUMBO, and she really liked it because she could sit up and look around, and it kind of taught her to have a little bit of tummy strength. It served its purpose just like the boppy lounger did, for something to put her in. If I was getting ready, I would just sit her on top of like the washer machine because it's right next to where I got ready, and she would just sit in this and watch me get ready like every single day and be perfectly content. So I know you can also get little trays that hook onto here. I actually used this to feed her for a while when she first started eating solids, but I didn't get the tray just because I planned on getting a height chair, which brings me to my next item, which is a height chair. Babies don't really start eating solids until they're about 4 to 6 months. For Peyton, she started eating purees right at 4 months. I didn't have a height chair for her yet. When I was making my registry, I never registered for a height chair just because I was like, she's not going to use it for a while. What's the point in registering it for it? So we actually didn't get a height chair until a couple months ago. When we got the height chair, it was just so much easier to feed her. I wouldn't have to like prop this thing up on something, or sometimes I would feed her in her swing, which I wasn't always comfortable with because she's kind of laying back more. You definitely need a high chair when you're starting to feed your babies because, like I said, it gets a little difficult when you're putting them in this, or you're putting them, you know, like you're just trying to like sit them up on the couch and feed them. It's a little just easier. If you're trying to like have them learn how to pick things up, it really helps to have a high chair. Okay, the next thing that I have on my list, which I also don't have with me, is a play gym. What I mean by a play gym is one of those little mats that you can lay them down on, and then it has like the little archways that has toys hanging from them. I don't really know how to describe it. So I ended up just getting a simple one with one arch and 3 toys, and Peyton loved it. I think I got it right around the time that she turned 3 months or so, and that thing had a mirror on it, and she loved looking at her reflection. Anytime that I needed to put her down somewhere, or I needed to go like clean the house, like I was cleaning the house or something and I just needed her to be entertained for a little bit, I would just lay her down on that thing. We would do tummy time on it. It just really, I would bring it to the gym with me so that I could lay her down and she could just like lay on her mat and roll around. This is kind of the age where they start grabbing for toys, and it definitely helped Peyton start to grab for things more, and it was just so fun to watch her like actually interacting with toys and playing with toys and grabbing for them and stuff, and it kept her entertained for a while. Alright, number 6 on my list are teething bibs and feeding bibs. Now I have a teething bib here to show you, but I don't have a feeding bib just because I only have 2 and I can't find one of them, and the other one was super dirty and I just really didn't feel like washing it, to be honest. But by teething bib, I mean one of these just like simple cloth bibs. This is from Up Simples, I think. I got them off of Amazon, and it's just these little bandana bibs, and they have cute little floral patterns. You can get bandana bibs in like every single pattern there is under the sun. I liked these because they were enough to cover where she teethes and where she drools. So everything that I'm talking about will be linked below in the description, and they look super cute. Like there's regular bibs and then there's bandana bibs, and she just always looked super cute when she was wearing these little bandana bibs. And then my other suggestion was feeding bibs. So these are for more when they start eating solids. You can either get the rubber kind, so they're basically bibs, and they have little pockets on the bottom of them, and they're made of like an easy to clean material. So the ones that I have are made of like a plastic material, and then but I've also seen the ones that are really popular that are made out of like the rubber material, and they have the big pocket at the bottom to catch any excess food. And I suggest these over these teething bibs for when you're feeding your baby, just because things do get really messy, and I stained so many of my regular teething bibs trying to feed Peyton her purees. It was also just a lot easier to clean, because after you're feeding, you just throw the bib in the sink and you wash it with the rest of your dishes or whatever, and you don't have to like throw it in the washer machine or anything like that. So I highly recommend feeding bibs for when your baby starts to eat solids, and teething bibs for when your baby is drooling so much that you should probably just stick a bucket under them all day long. Number 7, I actually have right behind me back here, and that is an EXERSAUCER. I got one of these for Peyton, and at first she had no idea. She didn't realize that there were toys around that she could play with. The reason I got an EXERSAUCER was because I just wanted her to start like grabbing for toys that were in front of her. So she didn't start really taking to the EXERSAUCER and understanding it until around 5 or 6 months. During months 3 and 4, she just kind of sat there, and it would just kind of be another thing that I could put her in if I had to do something, or put her down for a little bit. But I definitely recommend an EXERSAUCER just for another thing to entertain them while you can't, or you're just trying to clean or something like that. She really likes it now. She'll just sit there, and I have like a little arch that lights up, and she loves just staring at that thing and playing with all the toys on it. Yeah, I definitely recommend it, especially as you get closer to like the 5 and 6 month mark. Number 8 is a bottle warmer, and I don't really mean like a bottle warmer for bottles, I mean for food. So when Peyton started eating purees, I would freeze the purees in an ice cube tray, and then I would just store them in like freezer bags, and then when I was ready to give them to her, I would pop them out, or I would defrost them, but she didn't really like them ice cold, so I would just pop them into a container and then stick them into the bottle warmer and warm them up for her. And it was way quicker than sitting it under hot water or like boiling the water, sticking it in the pot of boiling water. It was just so much easier to just stick it in the bottle warmer, turn it on, and wait about 10 minutes for it to be done, and then just take it out and feed her. And you don't need to get a super expensive one. I think ours was like $20. I think it's Chico. It'll definitely save you some time, because there were a lot of times where I forgot to take the food out and defrost it the night before, so I'm stuck with frozen blocks of food, and I would have to put it in there for a little extra time, but it saved me a lot of time from like sitting there for 20 minutes with it under the hot water faucet, or like boiling the water and everything like that. So that will just make your life a little bit easier. Number 9 is a sleep sack. So it's basically just this big long sack, and it has armholes in it, and you just zip it up. They make them with sleeves, obviously, too. This one is from Burt's Bees. The reason why I have sleep sacks on the list is because this is the age where your baby is going to learn to roll over, especially from their back to their belly. For me, I don't know about you, but for me, Peyton rolled way easier from her back to her belly at first rather than her belly to her back. So at night, I couldn't swaddle her anymore. At least with her arms in, I couldn't swaddle her, because she would roll onto her belly and then she wouldn't know how to get back. So it was really dangerous for her to be on her belly with no arms. So I transitioned to a sleep sack. It makes it basically so your baby can still be warm and cozy and wear a blanket, or without actually putting a blanket in the crib, because that is not recommended. So sleep sacks for the win. Like I said, they make these with long sleeves. I really like this one for the summer. Alright, my last thing on my list is a baby carrier, and this will save your arms and your life. So I didn't get a baby carrier until she was probably around 3 months old, and I just have a really cheap one. I have like the $20 Infantino. I think it's called like the Flip or something. I wanted to see how she would like it, because I didn't want to invest in a really expensive one and then have her hate it, which at first she hated this thing. She only liked being facing out, and even then she would like be in it for about 10 minutes and then she'd flip out. So I didn't start actually using it until she was probably around 5 months. But oh my god, thank goodness she started taking to this thing, because even though babies, I mean Peyton's only like 14, 15 pounds, but they get heavy after a while, after holding them. And a lot of the times when they hit around that like 4-month mark is when they start going through their like stranger danger phase, and they just, at least Peyton, all she wanted was to be held. She never wanted to be put down. She never wanted to be in her stroller for a very long period of time. So having this was incredible and so helpful. I would be walking around the house doing housework and just have her strapped to me and be wearing her, and she would just be content for hours. I still put her in it. I do want to get a better quality one, just because this one doesn't really have much back support, so after a while my shoulders and my back hurt, but I still use it all the time. Like I said, this is the phase when all they want to do is just be held, and sometimes you have things to do and you need your arms, and you need both of them free, not just one, because I will say that when you're a mom, you learn to do a lot of things one-handed, but some things you just need 2 hands for. So a baby carrier is a must-have. Alright guys, that is it for my top 10 3 to 6 month must-haves. Let me know in the comments what your 3 to 6 month must-haves are, or if something that I named didn't work for you, like the BUMBO seat or the baby carrier. Maybe your baby hated those, the EXERSAUCER, I don't know. I just want to know what worked for you and what your 3 to 6 month baby must-haves are. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for my 6 to 9 month must-haves in a couple months when Peyton surpasses 9 months. Which is crazy because I can't imagine her being 9 months. It's never gonna happen. I refuse to believe it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss whenever I upload a new video. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.